what's up everyone, Same Time Gaming here. Welcome back for a Division 2 build video. Well guys, I'm back with another quick build video for you guys today because I am really busy and I'm tired at the same time. I've been testing for hours different types of builds, creating it, trying to make it, scrapping it because they're not working, because I only post videos that do work in the channel. I don't really post sick of the views. I just don't do that, and my builds are weird and it's fun. That's pretty much what I can say. Okay, if you're new, that's basically was an introduction of my channel here. Okay, so this build that I tested out, it's definitely working. I am actually decided to post a hybrid build today, but then there was basically a race. Okay, it was a race between this one or the hybrid. I chose this one over the hybrid build because it's easy to make, but the hybrid obviously is not. It's going to require a lot of farming here and there. So I chose this one, so you can make this one and maybe farm the hybrid if you want with the help of this build, I guess, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But what I'm actually doing it, if you're looking at the clips, I mean, if you haven't guessed it already, well, I'm using Striker. Yes, Striker is absolutely a crazy high DPS build, and I'm using and taking the advantage of the new exotic backpack, which is Ninja Bike Messenger backpack. I'm taking the advantage of that, and it's actually very new player friendly, I would say, this build, because you can definitely make this build without having to farm too much. All you have to do is get the ninja, and that, I mean, do require you to level up to level 90 in the season. But if you just play the game normally, you will end up making you know, XP enough to reach level 90. That's all I can say. Or you can just you know, go farm control points or something, convoys like a mad lad. You will reach a level 90, which honestly I did. And yeah, that's, don't judge me, okay? So what's happening here? Well, I'm using 3-piece of Striker to make it 4-piece of Striker, basically from the health of Ninja. And I'm also putting some survivability in the build because Striker is very high damage, but there is no survivability. For people who play Division 1, we know how good Striker is. In Division 1, we have, you know, insane amount of healing going on with Striker stacks as well as damage. Where in Division 2, we only get the damage, but we don't have any type of healing or survivability. And that's pretty much what I'm adding, basically. I'm adding a little bit of survivability in your Striker. At the end of the day, it's my channel, and if you're following me, you know that I always say if you can survive anything, you can kill anything. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. Now, without any further ado, let me show you the build over here. This is the build I'm actually running with the Striker. It looks kind of weird, but don't worry about that. It'll all make sense in a moment. So the specialization I'm using is the Technician. I honestly wanted to use the Gunner to get that additional 10% armor on kill from the Gunner specialization, but something really forced me to use the Technician specialization because of laser pointer. Yes, the laser pointer is just really awesome. Okay, it doesn't work on every freaking weapon, unfortunately, but whichever weapon it does work, they are really solid weapon. For example, the Kingsbreaker. Kingsbreaker is an amazing weapon, which is obviously a named weapon. It's really good. Okay, very high base damage. And we have perfect flatline talent on that, which basically amplifies your weapon damage by 20% to pulse targets. And with the help of the laser pointer that I have on the Kingsbreaker, it's actually going to pulse enemies when you look at them. That's it. That's how simple it is. Just look at them, aim, just point, aim downside, and that's it. You're going to pulse them. And your talent will be active. The flatline talent will be active. Now, on the secondary, I have a shotgun, basically to build up the stacks quickly. I have ACS 12 from Division 1. We all know this is called the showstopper. I have pummel talent here. It doesn't matter what you use on the secondary, to be honest, as long as you can build up the stacks. But honestly, you don't really need the shotgun to build up the stacks because Kingsbreaker is capable of to build up the stacks on its own, especially because of the RPM boost that it's getting from Striker. Previously, it wasn't capable of doing so, especially in Heartbreaker builds. I wouldn't recommend using Kingsbreaker to build up the stacks for Heartbreaker. But with the Striker, you can, because you get that RPM boost. Now, a lot of people underestimate the RPM boost from Striker, but the numbers that you get from Striker might be lower than other builds, but they do kind of do a shadow damage. What I mean by that is you won't see the damage number, but you will feel the damage numbers because of the RPM boost. Okay, that 15% RPM boost is really high, and you will feel it when you're actually using it against your enemies. You'll see that their health bar is just dropping. Okay, so now that being said, let's look at the gears that we have. So Striker 3-piece, like I said, if you don't know what Striker does, basically gives you weapon handling 15% for 2-piece, and 3-piece is rate of fire. Like I said, very important there. That rate of fire enables your weapon, basically like a steroid for your weapons. Okay, that rate of fire, especially for high base damage weapons, because high base damage weapon does not have much RPM. But if you add this, then you do get high RPM, and then you're doing crazy damage. Okay, now for 4-piece of striker, we get the striker gamble talent, which basically means you're going to get more damage when you have more stacks. So we're going to get up to 100 stacks, and every time we get that stacks, we get 0.5% of weapon damage boost for 1 stack. And like I said, it's going to go to 100 stacks, but every second you will lose 1 stacks from 0 to 50, and you're going to lose 2 stacks from 50 to 100. But honestly, don't worry about that. You will build up that stacks, and you will keep that stacks active because nowadays we don't lose stacks for missing our shot. So that's a very good, buff for strikers, which is nice. Now we have weapon damage, crit damage, and crit chance on the mask here. For the gloves, we have weapon damage, crit damage. For the knee pads, again, we have weapon damage and crit damage. So that's 3-piece striker. Ninja, making it 4-piece because, Ninja unlocks a set bonus for every gear, right? So if you have 1 piece of something, Ninja will make sure it counts as 2-piece. If you have 2-piece of the exact same thing, then it will make sure that it counts 3-piece. So basically unlocks the other set bonus extra set bonus for the gear that you have equipped, which is really solid. So that's why we have the ninja, right? That's why the build is here. Now for the high end, we have the closer chest piece, which is the named Yuzina Getaka chest piece, because it comes with the perfect spotter talent. This might be a little hard for you if you're a new player. If you haven't played previous season, because it was basically a free reward in the season track, in the previous season. So if you have that, then you can use it. But if you don't have it, don't force to use this. You can definitely use something similar, because the theme here basically is to make you a little bit of, survival. When you get the kill, you get the armor back. So that's why we chose this one. So you get that 10% armor on kill, and you also have 5% total armor, which is nice. But if you don't have this piece, like I said, you can use the Bellstone, and Bellstone will give you exact same 10% armor on kill, but instead of the total armor 5%, Bellstone will give you 1% of armor regen. So that's like a passive, small, teeny tiny healing that you're gonna get from Bellstone. But you definitely get that armor on kill. So don't force on thinking that you definitely must need the chest piece here, the closer. If you don't have it, use Bellstone. That should be fine. You can also use Fenris if you want. You can use Providence. My bad. You can use Providence. You can also use Waka Harris. There are multiple options that you can go for. You can also use a Grupo Sombra if you want, or a Sheshka if you want more crit chance. Definitely an option there. Now for the holster, I have the System Corruption. Now this is not so much new player friendly because this is a Dark Zone exclusive item. But you don't actually have to use this. Again, there is an alternative. You can use that, and you can use, let's say, Bellstone again. Yes. So if you have the UG chest piece, the closer chest piece, then you can use a Bellstone holster. Or if you're going for the Bellstone chest piece with spotter talent, then you can use an UG holster, right? The reason why, you're going to get 10% armor on kill from UG, and you're going to get 10% armor on kill from Bellstone. So that's 20% armor on kill, which is really good. But the reason why I have System Corruption, because it's 15%. I know that 5% is not a huge deal, but it does, kind of comes in handy when you're fighting against multiple targets and you're killing them very quickly. That extra 5% will add up soon. So you get 2 kills, 5%, 10% extra armor. So that's good. But don't force on thinking that you do need the system, because like I said, you can use the Bellstone holster here because it's an high-end piece and it will provide you with an additional attribute. So if you want an extra stats for your build, like crit chance or crit damage, definitely go with the high end. Or as I said, you can use something like Providence, Fenris, Waka Harris. You can use those pieces as well, or Grupo Sombra. You can definitely use that. Not a problem there. So that's basically the template of a build. If you want, you can change some things here and there. If I go with the different variants of this, that's gonna take a while because there's multiple variants you can go with this particular build, and you're gonna be doing similar amount of damage. The damage I'm doing is actually like 800k plus, but if you want to go high, and if you want to be super new player friendly, if I should say, I would say that you can use Striker chest piece. Yes, hold on, I know. You can use Striker chest piece, and then instead of the holster, whichever holster you have, you can change it to Hunter's Fury. Yeah, Hunter's Fury, yes. And you can change the knee pads to another Hunter's Fury. So that way you get 20% more armor on kill and 100% health on kill. Now, the two-piece is not that needed if you're using an assault rifle as a main, but if you have a shotgun in your secondary, that extra 15% shotgun damage will come in handy. But with this, you have a bit more survivability and honestly more damage. Yes, you do, because the striker chest piece will now unlock 100 more stacks. So at first you were getting only 100 stacks from striker, but the chest piece will now make sure that you get 100 more stacks. So that time you're getting 200 stacks from the striker. And that's a lot of damage. That's going to do 1 million plus on the body. Okay, that's really huge amount of damage. The only issue with this is to build up that stacks. And how can you build up the stacks? Well, again, you can use a shotgun to build up the stacks. You can use, LMG. And the LMG that comes on my mind is basically Bullet King. So if you're doing like legendary missions and stuff, you can use the Bullet King to spam it because there is no need to reload that weapon. And you will end up building that stacks and you can melt it. You can even use a pestilence because you can put out that Plague of the Outcast damage to the targets. So that will be like 600k ticks. I've already tested it myself. So that's why I'm telling you the numbers that I have seen from my build. So you can do that. Your builds might have more damage, depends on the stats, or maybe lower. Like I said, depends on the stats. So yeah, you have multiple options. You can definitely try those out. Like I said, take it as a template and try for yourself, play with it. See which ones actually benefits you and which one you're preferring and which one makes you feel comfortable with. That's the whole point of it. Okay, the build, it's you don't have to exactly make the way I have. Just change few things here and around, whatever you feel comfortable with it. Now, if you want, I can show you the damage I can do with this. So I'm going to quickly show you the damage. So first of all, I'm just going to build up the stacks really fast with the shotgun here. So as you can see, it's super easy to build up the stacks with the shotgun. Now let's try the with the weapon here. Wait, the pulse is not active, is it? Do I have the pulse active? No, it's not active. Yeah, it's active now. So as you can see, we're easily hitting 800k with this particular setup. The crits, honestly, is kind of mediocre because not much of a crit chance and crit damage attributes are there because high-end pieces have more crits. The one extra attribute slot, we don't have that options over here. But whenever it does crit, it crits like 826, as you can see. So that's really, really solid amount of damage when you have the stacks active. So yeah, it does work really fine. So that's definitely an option you can go. And if you want to look at my crits, just don't look at it. It's I feel sad with that. I mean, that's all I can get. I mean, I have all the crit chance and crit damage as possible on the sets, but it just does not want to go higher. So what can I do, man? That's all I can do with that numbers. I mean, with the stats. However, the damage is super good. You've seen the gameplay. I am melting the NPCs, and yeah, it's a build worth taking a look if you want. It's a very high DPS build, I would say, and I did add some survivability there in the build to make the feel of that Division 1 striker. Although it's far from the Division 1 striker, to be honest, but it's somewhat there. So you have that damage, you have that healing in a way when you get that kill, so you get that armor back. So definitely try it out if it feels like a build that you want to try it out for yourself. If you think that it's an interesting approach, so you can definitely do that. And that's basically the video for the video. I'm gonna go make some other videos. I have plenty of other projects left over, so I'm gonna do that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.